Okay. Okay, so this is our presentation on ISAW and positive communication by Ashley, Blake, Jensen, Morris, and Will.
So who is ISAW? ISAW stands for International Smart Advancing Women. It is an international professional women's organization, and the organization's goal is to narrow down the gender gap in the workplace. There are different ways that they try to do this. They try to help build and promote women in the workplace. They do this by enabling learning, leading, and lifting others up. One way that they do this is by getting them to grow, connect with each other, as well as inspire them. They help mentor women and get them to places that they know they should be in the workplace. There's many different ways that they do this. They have meetings that they go to. Now with it being online, that they do kind of like online learning like this, where they do video chats and work that way. So they try to find ways still with this pandemic to help to reach their goal and do what they're trying to do.
So how did we work with them? So ISAW has this great website and platform that they use to help connect women and empower them. And so what we did was we found articles talking about issues, struggles, or triumphs that women face in their lives, and specifically within the academic, professional, or political world. We focused a lot on the professional world. We then summarized the articles into sound bites and found key points and statistics to highlight that would help the women. These excerpts were then entered into a grid that would format them to be displayed on their website. And some of the pictures I have below was just our general outline of what we did, what we created as our project. And then I also have a picture of the grid that we entered the information into.
All right, so now we're going to tie in how did positive communication affect our project. So to do that, I got to give a little background information on what positive communication is. Positive communication refers to any verbal and nonverbal behaviors that function positively in the course of human interaction. It's an exact quote from Julian Miravel, the author of our textbook, and that pretty much sums up exactly what positive communication is. Positive communication is interpersonal communication. And by practicing positive communication, we can strengthen all human bonds in our life. Positive communication is the rare area of study that has the possibility to affect all aspects of life, be it family life, social life, or work life. I can't stress that enough. No matter what you're doing, no matter who you're talking to, positive communication can benefit. There is in no way, and I'm speaking in absolutes here, there is no way positive communication is negative. It helps out literally everyone who practices it, for lack of a better term. And we should all strive to better our positive communication, whether it's with group members like in class right now, whether it's family members like my brother or my mother, my father, or whether it's bosses or coworkers at work. Positive communication helps everyone, and that is a blanket statement, but it's true.
How do we think of using positive communication in this project? So we use positive communication in a couple of ways: finding our sound bites and our articles and creating this excerpts. We wanted to find articles that really use positive language about women. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find because a lot of it is showing, what women don't get compared to like men in the workplace, which is really what we looked at. But when we found these articles where the data or the content wasn't talking so positively about women, it also gave positive and efficient solutions to help. So like reading the articles, we really found stuff that was like, here's what's going wrong, here are like really good ways you can fix it, and didn't show like, oh, this can never happen. It painted it as, in the future, let's do this, creating a positive environment for women in the workplace. When we work together as a group, we also use positive communication. I think with our group, we were really good at communicating both through email, through our group chat. We just kind of encouraged each other as we went on, thanking each other for the work we did, saying good job, listening and communicating effectively. While that might not be like positive communication language, just that is in terms of positive communication, being good listeners and communicating, being open to one another's ideas. And when we did our outline that Jensen showed in his slide, we would have feedback for each other on the sound bites that we did. And so we each kind of gave each other honest feedback, again, making sure that we are like praising one another for doing this project, especially right now with everything going on. Motivation can kind of be kind of hard. So by motivating and encouraging and just complimenting one another, we use positive communication with each other as well.
So some of the concepts we use in positive communication, kind of like how we incorporated that with the project, kind of use some from the textbook and also from the research we did. So I think that one of the virtues of ethics, ethos, it's to refer to a person's moral character, how a person is persuasive simply based on who they are, what they've done, and how the way they act in everyday life. So that's kind of the same with women in the workplace. Do you want to act and show who you are to get to where you want to be? And so Maryville also pointed out that based on the character you are, you also embody your beliefs, values, and everyday virtues. And in the research we did, that we found out it was women are progressing in the workforce. So another concept that I kind of took away from that is inspiring. Got that from the textbook as well. More women want to inspire to take more action, to work on the executive board, to kind of work the way up the ladder to receive equal treatment and equal pay as men earn more and want to be recognized as much as men are. And another concept that we took away was from Kay Lindell was reading What is Listening? And she mentions that listening, it's the first step in making people feel valued. So I think that this goes without saying, you truly want to actively listen, to feel valued and to be heard for what you want to say and how you want to say it. And then for this slide, kind of just added a couple pictures showing that as women have progressed throughout the years in the workforce, we do want to see more women take action, take part on the executive board. So it kind of shows the woman up there telling her colleagues what to do in a work situation. And then just kind of shows different words, like communication is a big one. Written, language, barriers, information just kind of shows what you all need, like skill set wise, to work with.
All right, and this slide is how we will use positive communication going forward. And it's each of us just individually talking. It doesn't have to be about school or work or whatever. It's just what we thought about positive communication. So for myself, I said, I'll be using positive communication going forward to strengthen all my relationships. And simply put, bring more positivity to those I care about. Sounds simple because it is simple. It's nothing hard, but it's something we do need to practice, each and every one of us, every day.
I said I'll use positive communication in my relationship with friends and family, as well as bringing positivity to my workplace throughout my career. I think that was kind of the biggest thing that I took away, was just bringing that positivity to my workplace, because I think it's really easy to not, love your job or something like that. But like, if you think about it positively, it can affect how you see it and how you experience it.
So I kind of said the same thing, as well as just trying to bring positive communications to my relationships and the people that are around me and that I care about, as well as helping with my career. And then also kind of like what Jensen said is, you really have to look, not everyone likes their job. So if you can find the little positives in it, it will go a long way to making your job better and enjoying it more.
And then I kind of said, like going forward, I'll use positive communication by looking at the good in any situation that's given, strengthening relationships around me, whether it's friends, family, anyone, and also just having a positive outlook on life.
And I said I'll use positive communication going forward by just using positive language and optimism to help my relationship with others. So, right now at the pandemic, I think it's really easy to focus on the negative. And right now we need to focus on lifting each other up. In addition to using positive communication to help the relationship I have with myself. On this semester, we did a lot of self-reflecting with a lot of the discussion boards. And I personally think I've learned about myself that I didn't really think about, and being more positive and optimistic and being like kind to myself. Because again, it's really easy to be negative about some things. But yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That is the end of our presentation.
Oh, I suck.